Let's now cross live to Imo State for a town hall meeting, an interactive session bringing together young people from across the state and Dr. Chima Matthew Amadi. Engagement is focused on dialogue, civic participation and issues affecting the youth as they exchange ideas and perspectives in an open forum.
Understand that we have Muslim youths here. Muslim youths, and other youth groups. And because I'm sure I want to, on behalf of Dr. Chima Matthew Amadi's campaign organization, say Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Very good. I want to also inform all of us here that this, in fact, we have already started. This gathering today will be covered live by the most prestigious national TV called Arise TV. We're already live now. So for the next 1 hour, our activities here will be covered nationally and internationally. So your people at home will be seeing you, your people outside home will be seeing you, your people all over the world will be seeing you. So let us conduct ourselves properly. Let us all also listen in silence, so that our activities will be smooth and the purpose for which we are gathered here will also be achieved. Do you agree with me? Yes, without wasting time, I want to introduce Dr. Chima Matthew Amadi. By the grace of God, the next governor of Imo State.
Thank you. How many of you were with us yesterday? Okay, this is a new group. We had fun yesterday, didn't we? Some of you watched it, okay? All right. Thank you very much, our dear youths. Thank you for inviting me over to speak with you. I do not take the opportunity very lightly. Today, we are going to do things a little differently. We are not going to speak too much grammar. We are not going to sugarcoat anything. It's an interactive session. A lot of times, people gather you, politicians gather you, and they talk to you. When they are done talking to you, then you go. How many times do we get to listen to you? I'm sure you have a lot to say, right? You want to be listened to. You want people to hear you. So today we're going to listen to you. We want to hear from you and know what the real issues are. So I'm going to be moderating this session. We're going to keep it respectful, keep it short, straight to the point, no eulogizing. I know who I am, you know who you are, right? No praising, you are not praising anybody here. Don't tell me that I'm the best thing to happen to humanity after sliced bread. Stale news, we don't want to hear that. Okay? If you want to talk to me, anything, even the things you don't like about me, say it. Speak from the heart. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it respectful. Okay? Please, all phones go on silence. You can tweet about this. You can use your social media if you want to, but keep it silent. Keep it on airplane mode if you can. So let's get started. And this is how we are going to proceed. I would love to move around the hall, but because of the T camera, so I'll try to be stationary. Now, this is a cross section of Imo youths, am I right? From all the local governments. So this is how we're going to do this. I want to ask a question. I want us to identify 5 problems that our youths consider the most pertinent that you want to be resolved. 5. So you raise your hand, identify you, then you speak. Tell me, this is the most critical. This is the main issue that is bothering youths in Imo State. So, by show of hands, please, I'll come to you. Any other microphone here? Take it to my brother over there. No mic. Okay, you can come here, please. Don't be offended, just come. Introduce your name, where you're from, and then answer.
I am Ihoma Chinemerem Francis. I'm from Eznite, Mbise, Ezido. What I want to be resolved in the state is we lack of industries and factories where youth can find ourselves being employed. We have more of hotels, and I think that is not the major things we need in the state. Thanks.
Please, a round of applause for him. So what he has identified from his problem is unemployment, and he took it to the economy in terms of industrialization. So unemployment, key number 1. So we have one. My brother, please step over here. Oh, you're here. Oh, don't worry. You stay here. You will still speak. Okay. Identify yourself.
My name is Oprum Kelechi from Owerri West. One of the problems that needs to be resolved from my own aspect is the mentorship program and the skill acquisition.
Thank you. Mentorship program and skill acquisition. That will be some form of internship. Internship. You have skills and you have acquired a skill set, but there's no placement, right? No place to place you. Am I right, my brother?
Good afternoon, everyone. I remember my humble self, Comrade Henry Ba from Ohaj Ebema, Ekuba precisely. So I want to speak in the program of how to tackle the problem of the youth in Ebema and our Imo State generally. Firstly, I want to speak. Okay. For me, one of the major problems that the youth has been facing in Imo State is security challenge.
Insecurity, security challenge. I think you wait to be identified. You don't just walk up. I think that's the best thing to do. So you sit down. I will call you when the time comes. Insecurity. Thank you so much, sir. Sorry about that. Is that a lady's hands I'm seeing raised? Okay, the ladies as usual want to watch before they. Okay, that hand there. Please step up. As you're stepping up, my brother that came here and went back, please come. Yes, come. Hurry up. Let's get it rolling. All right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Comrade Ogwe Ipayos Chukwado. The students we lack empowerment and unaccessibility to our leaders.
Okay. So what I understand that in some this is talking about governance, right? Governance, and I will also say is some kind of mentorship. All right, and access. Is this a good summary of what he said? Access to power. Brother, I've not called you now. People can't be just stepping down. I know who you want to talk, right? The first time you're being allowed to speak. My brother, don't worry, you speak. Don't go too far, okay? Just be where you are.
Good afternoon, everybody. Ezigwe Chikwende Mana from Okigwe. Please, sir, we don't have a good market in Imo State. Thank you.
So talking about markets, and that's economy too, markets. And that will be markets. I will also say, okay, markets, no problem. Let me not push what to my mind. The bearded one. Yours is very dark. The last time I had dark beards like yours was like over 2 decades ago. I want my own.
My name is Honorable Paul Ezinye from Ikedru Local Government of Imo State. Failing education.
Brilliant. Failing education. Please put your hands together for my brother here. Failing education. Is there no lady? Is that everything is okay for our ladies, isn't it? Okay, that's good. Please come. Thank you. All right.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Ukebi Joma Serafina from Obo, precisely. What I'm trying to talk about is education aspect. Yes. For people to have scholarship.
Education, access to education so that nobody is left behind. Scholarships, also education. All right, scholarships. All right, so I'm going to take 2 more, and my brother here, please come. Any other person? Oh my God, Imo youths want to talk. Oh my God. Okay, my brother with the black one, and then the lady down there, yes, down there, the lady, and you, yes, you. Your persistence has paid off. Come. All right, you come. I buy also. The lady, come. All right. In one word.
Thank you, sir. My name is Ihe Tuchinjeka Henry. I'm from Wangele local government. What I feel is part of the problem that we have as youth, proper leadership training.
Leadership training, somebody had mentioned that mentorship, and both talk about leadership in terms of governance. I already have it.
My name is Honorable Zigobina from Bitolo. The major problem we're having in the state is roads. We have bad roads everywhere.
Poor quality infrastructure. Infrastructure. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tony Naji from Umekunen Gobala. Umejechi.
That's my brother here. Please put a round of applause.
Please, my major challenge is rural development. Thank you very much.
Ndewono, awum Dr. Kelechi Meziobi, awum onye nkuzi na mahadum, awukwanu onye Nnekede in our West local government. Our major challenge is political discrimination. The youths need to really get involved where decisions are being made.
Political discrimination, part of. He says his name. He's told us his name. He says he's a lecturer in the university, and then the major thing is access and political discrimination. Okay.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Dorunam De Henry from Amiyaka and Umaka and Japa LGA. One of the problems our youths are facing is what we call access to proper funding.
All right.
Funding.
Capital, access to funding, capital. Okay? Good.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chima Handsome. I'm from Umoye, Imerie, Wengobala. We don't used to have lights at all. That's our problem.
That will be infrastructure.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Comrade Vivian Ogeshuzoma. I'm from Umbitolu, Ogwa to be precise. I think what the youth lack is political marginalization. Youth political marginalization.
Political marginalization. And finally, my sister here.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Comrade Ozo Kamaka Justina. One of the major things we lack is poor health scheme. In most of the local governments.
The health scheme. Okay, come. Finally, health.
Okay. Good afternoon, Imo Youth. My name is Captain Obino Hajwa. I had to stand up to say this because no one mentioned it. All right, sir. One of the major concerns for me when it comes to Imo, and in particular for Imo youth, is poor transport system, and particularly the aviation industry.
Okay, transport system. All right, please put your hand together for everybody that commented. Everybody that commented. Now, we've gotten the concerns of Imo youths. They've talked about the unemployment, internships, insecurity, governance mentorship programs, markets, failing education, scholarship, infrastructure, political marginalization, lack of capital, and all that. Now, while I was preparing for this, I made a list of what I thought was the problem of Imo youths. So I did this before we came here, right? And look at what I came to. I came with the list of 11. Number 1, unemployment. Number 2, insecurity. Number 3, distrust of government and political marginalization and exclusion. Number 3, poor quality education. Number 4, the japa syndrome. Number 5, gender realities. Number 9, economy, tech and creativity, and poor infrastructure. So out of the 11 things you mentioned, I got 9. Please put your hand together for me. So what that tells you, my brothers and my sisters, is that I understand what the issues are. I know what the issues are. And the first step towards solving a problem is to understand what that problem is. If you understand what the problem is, then you know how to solve it. Now we've heard from the youths themselves what their issues are. And so because I understand what your issues are, I can profile solutions. But let us talk more about these problems. Yes, I only allowed you to mention them, in terms of headlines, items. But let's deep in the conversation, can we? Thank you very much. Let's talk about unemployment and the state of unemployment in Imo State. Now, there's a definitional conundrum in Nigeria with regards to what's unemployment to arrive at a figure of the rate of unemployment, because there's really a dearth of quality statistics. You understand me? So if you use the International Labour Organization's definition of what youth unemployment is, it's simply the number of 15 to 24-year-olds that are actively seeking employment but cannot find jobs. Do you understand what I mean? The number of between the ages of 15 to 24-year-olds that are actively seeking employment but cannot find jobs. Now, if we use that definition, the ILO, using all kinds of models, the World Bank model and all kinds of models, estimates that youth unemployment in Nigeria is at 5.06%. Okay? But if you expand that definition, if you broaden it further, and includes, for example, the Afrobarometer, their definitions of unemployment as the number of people that are discouraged, what you call discouraged workers. There are a lot of you here that are working in places that you really don't like to work. If you are within that bracket, I don't want to work here and I'm done. Raise your hands up. Thank you. So they are what you call discouraged workers. We also have inactive workers. They're no longer, they are inactive. Okay? We also have those that are not in education, what you call unemployed graduates. How many of you are here? Oh, everyone here is employed? Many of you here are graduates, right? If you're a graduate here and you don't have employment, raise your hands up. Nothing to be ashamed of. Oh my God. Camera, can we catch this? Is the camera seeing this? Please put your hand up. So you are captured within this definition. If you are also, you are not in any form of training, you are not in education, but you don't have a job. So if you expand the definition of youth unemployment to include these, you will find out that the youth unemployment rate in Nigeria is between 30 to 53%. That is more like it, right? It's more like it, right? Now, but I don't want to go through that extrapolated statistics. I want to stick to the more conservative statistics used by ILO, which puts unemployment in Nigeria, youth unemployment in Nigeria, at a mere 5%. Using that definition, therefore, what then is the rate of unemployment in Imo State using that very conservative definition? The rate of unemployment in Imo State is between 48.7% to 50%. about 50% of our youths are unemployed. So let us test it here right now. Let us test it. There are about 300 of you here. Please don't play politics. Some of you belong to different political parties, different interests, right? So if you are in this hall and you are unemployed and you feel you are in employment but this is not what I want to do, you are underemployed, raise your hands up. Thank you very much. So, this is more than 50% of the people here. So that statistics is right. It is very correct. We have a lot of, it is not a problem of Imo State alone. Let's not play politics, okay? This situation is not just about Imo. It is a national problem. It has been said that Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder because of the amount or the number of unemployed youths that are just loitering about. Youths that have been trained. They have the degrees. If you are here, you've been to a university or a form of tertiary institution and you're a graduate, please raise your hands up. So you see almost everybody here is trained. And then more than half of you, almost 60% of you, don't have a job. So what they have a situation is people that have been trained, they have the skill sets, but there's no job. Part of the problems identified by a young man here is about capital, right? Lack of capital. Many of you have brilliant business ideas, am I right? In fact, if you have a brilliant business idea, but the issue is there's no capital, no support, raise your hand up. Oh la la. You see what I mean? Bring your hands down. So this is the problem. Some of you, many of our youths have brilliant business ideas. They don't want to work for anybody. They have ideas they know can work. They have ideas they want to implement, but there's no capital, nowhere to get funds to support that idea. Many of you have empowered yourselves through different skills. Some of you have been to different apprenticeship systems. Some of you have gotten certifications in different kinds of things. Like my brother there mentioned, about two persons mentioned, you have gotten the skills, but you've not gotten a place, for internship, for placement, so that you go acquire practical experience and all that. These are the kinds of situation we find, and it's a problem in our state. It's a problem in our state that needs to be resolved. I will go to my practical solutions for them. I'm just expanding the issues you raised. The other issue that was raised here is about insecurity, right? Look, we have the traditional sources of insecurity that youth have to deal with. Court clashes in universities. Different court clashes have even left the walls of the universities now, have even entered the town. We now have courts, groups, and cleavages, even within our villages and communities. Am I right? These are part of the things you need to deal with. You have the issues of kidnappings. Recently, a kidnapping den was exposed in Ngobala. Then we have the issue of state-sponsored intimidation. I asked, are Imo youths endangered? One of the easiest way for you to be arrested is either to keep a long beard, keep a what you call it, a dread, or even dress like me as a young person. For the fact that you dress in a trendy way makes you a suspect. So it has now become a crime to become a youth. And it's not the only thing, it's not just peculiar to Imo State. If you remember some years ago, there was what you call the End SARS protest, right? That was Nigerian youth saying enough is enough. We are tired of being profiled. We are tired of being stereotyped. We want to be treated as human beings. Come on, guys. The owner of Facebook came into Nigeria looking very trendy. So why do we need to criminalize our youths? Because they look fashionable, they drive good cars, wear nice chains, and then that makes them criminals. And that is part of the issues you have to deal with, right? Recently there was an uproar in Imo State about a unit of a police force called Tiger Base. that many of you complained about the activities. So that's part of the issues you also have to deal with. So I call this state-sponsored intimidation, just for the fact that you're a young person. You have to deal with that. You also have to deal with the fact that you mentioned that you don't trust your government. You feel you are excluded from government. You feel that the only usefulness you have for those in power is to be used as thugs, is to be used as political thugs to go pick up ballot boxes, disrupt electoral processes, intimidate opponents, and when finally the opportunity or the elections are won, you are relegated to the background. If you feel that way, raise your hands up. If you feel that after helping politicians to get to power, they drop you and relegate you to the background, raise your hands up. Thank you. So that's part of the problems you face, you know. So some of you feel, like you mentioned, that you are not put on a decision-making table after all you do, especially given the fact that women and youth form the bulk of the voting class in Nigeria. Am I right? If you look at the data by INEC, the voting bracket between 18 to 54 makes up about 75%. So if youths arise and say, today we are taking power, you can do that if you are united. But after helping politicians get to power, the best some of you get is PA to the SSA to the special advisor to... Do you understand what I mean? And then you get paid like 30,000. And then very soon, the election is about to come. We're in the season. Very soon, they will announce about 10,000 PAs or SSAs and pay you 50,000 each. Once election comes, all of you lose your job. Am I making sense? That's what happens. And so some of you are tired. Thank you so much. So some of you are tired of being used as pawns just to give, old people like me to get them into power and then dropped, You don't want that anymore. You want to be on the table. You have ideas you want to implement. You have things you want to do. You also want to be part of moving the state forward. But at the end of the day, you are just a pawn. You are just a quote-unquote bloody ballot box carrier. Ballot box carrier. You are just, a pawn on the political chess table. And I tell you that the global trend right now is that younger people are now beginning to assume, power, political offices, even up to the point of some of them becoming presidents of their country. Even though I do not like to cite aberrations, and what I mean by democratic aberrations like coup. But in Burkina Faso, the president of Burkina Faso is just a young person like you, right? Now, that is not the classic example because of the way he came to power. But the fact is, the young people, there are other examples elsewhere that we can cite. I'm just mentioning the fact within Africa. I mean, I think in Mali too, where they had an election. Is it Mali? Am I getting my fact? Senegal, sorry. In Senegal, where an election took place and a young person like you won the elections. So, young people in other places are taking their pride of place in politics, in decision-making processes, in the boardrooms, not just politics, in the boardrooms, in the corporate world. Young people are doing wonders. There is the new innovations that the tech hubs are being not manned by 70-year-olds. No, these are young people that are, setting up tech companies, fintechs, and all that. And some of them are even younger than you, pushing their companies to become unicorns. You know what unicorns are, right? Companies that have exceeded $1 billion and above. These are young persons like you. So, what you aspire for, it's not anything wrong. You aspire to be a leader in your field, whether in education. Somebody came here and said it's a lecturer. You don't want to be relegated when an opportunity comes in your university. You don't want to be relegated when an opportunity comes in your workplace. You don't want to be relegated when an opportunity comes even in political sphere. You want to be part of the decision-making body. Am I right? We look at the quality of education. For me, this is a no-brainer. You all want the education you get to be an education that is in tune with the times. If you went to a university here in Imo State or anywhere, and you feel that the quality of education you got, the infrastructure within that university that you got could have been better, raise your hands up. If you feel that the university you attended was substandard, that the education you got there is not as par with latest reality, all right. And if you feel that your lecture halls could have been better, if you feel that the facility of teaching you could have been better, if you feel that the hostels could have been better, if you feel that, the idea of selling certain things that should not be sold, handouts and others should not be there, raise your hands up. Bring your hands down. And if you feel that the university you attended was the best thing to happen to you in terms of the standard of that university, raise your hand up. Stand up, please. Which university did you attend? What? Imo State University. Okay. Please put your hands together for Imo State University. Who else attended Imo State University here? Who else attended Imo State University here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to put you on TV to rubbish your alma mater. I thank God for Imo State University. But if it is the will of God, and with the help of Imo people, and we get to Douglas House in 2027, 2028, Imo State University will not be the same again. We will sit down and do something about Imo State University. I went to University of Ibadan myself, and I think that Imo State University can be better. We will turn Imo State University to the best state university in Nigeria. What I saw, some of the facilities I've seen in Imo State University can be better. I'm not going to rubbish our university on national TV, but I think that some of the things we have as tertiary institutions in our state, I've attended some of the best tertiary institutions, mind you. I went to the University of Ibadan, and some of you know that at least University of Ibadan is good. I've been to the London School of Economics. I'm the proud alma mater of the University College London. I am currently a doctoral research fellow at the University of Warwick. I mean, I could go on and on. These are some of the best universities in the world. I would like to see a Nigerian university, especially Imo State University, attend to that kind of quality in our lifetime. And your desire as young people that your education you get should be qualitative. It's not a bad thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing. You may not need it, but you want to feel that those after you will benefit from that kind of quality. An education that is realistic, objective, and in tandem with the times. I am not part of those that try to malign any cause. Whatever cause you want to do, go ahead and do it. But whatever cause it is, must face the reality that you have to deal with every day. I also mentioned the japa. If I say how many of you right now want to leave Nigeria for another country, every one of you will raise their hands. That is why 2 years ago they used it to deceive you. That about 4,000 of you have been marked to go to Europe. How many have finally gone to Europe? No, there must be about 2 or 3 now. Nobody. You see, your leaders identify your vulnerabilities. They know what you want and they use it against you. I don't have a problem with anybody seeking greener pastures. As a capitalist, I believe that labor must be allowed to move wherever labor wants to go to. Okay? The capital cannot go freely while labor should be restricted. One of the things that Africa has the most is cheap labor. Okay? And so when the advanced centers of capitalism come to African countries and exploit our natural resources, allow it at raw material level, add value to it, and send it back to us 3-4 times the price and make money, our competitive advantage or comparative advantage, as some people call it in economics, is labor. So our young people can move freely, go there, also make money. But you know what? There's all kinds of barriers to entry. And the number one barrier to entry is visa. The Americans have all but stopped giving you visa. The Europeans will give you all kinds of hurdles. So if that is the case, why are you still fantasizing about living? Why are you still allowing yourself to die on the seas of the Mediterranean? Why don't we see what we can do about our state, about our country, get it better, so that when you want to travel, it's just to go on holiday in the Maldives, the way I do. I'm sorry, I've not been to Maldives before, but I'm just saying, you have enough money to go holiday and come back to your beloved country. Isn't Nigeria a beautiful place? It's a beautiful, sweet place. I don't know why omelette should take the place of Nkwobi or make it no sense. Check it, but it's because that the enabling environment has not been placed here for you to thrive and succeed. That is why you seek to go elsewhere. Am I right? The emo of our dream will try to reverse this in Jesus' name. Poor infrastructure, I'm not going to overlabor it. Some of you have mentioned the quality of our roads. We talked about it yesterday. How Imo State has the third worst road network in Nigeria. This is not just talk. You live it, you came from it, just as it is everywhere. Our governor is trying with federal roads. We wish he can extend that to state roads. Am I right? And to roads in the community. If he can do that, that would be a nice thing. But if he can't, by the time he's done in 2027, we'll fix it. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. So, having said that, we have established what the issues are. Let us now look at what the solutions, my own solution. Now, feel free to disagree with me. Feel free to say, look, Mazi, your panacea is not totally correct. We think differently. Do you understand? Nobody knows it all. Okay? Nobody knows it all. So, and we'll be very glad to take your inputs, refine our thoughts. And if ask any question, if I don't know it, I'll be humble enough to say, Amamka, I don't know this. Let me go think about it and come back. All right? Nobody. Leadership. Your leaders must not become omniscient. Only God knows everything. Okay, because we are made in the image of God does not mean that we are not God in terms of knowledge. And so, to deal with economy and job creations, like some of you have mentioned, I've said that I want to say this. And one of the things I tell people is I'm not a politician. And perhaps that is a disadvantage for me, because I will say it the way it is. There is nowhere that any politician can come to you and say, I will give all of you jobs. It is simply not going to happen. We will employ you. Look, if the Imo State Civil Service employs 10% of the unemployed youths in Imo State, the government will be broke in the next 30 days. And nobody wants our government to be broke. Do you want our government to be broke? Nobody can do that. Government cannot simply solve the problem of unemployment by just going on an employment spree. It does not make sense. It cannot sustain it. That is the truth. So what government can do is to create opportunities for jobs, for private individuals or private partnerships to create jobs. Is that not better? That's what government can do to create opportunity for people to find Imo State attractive enough to come here and site their companies and bring them here. Government can also use policies to trigger, job creation. But the most important thing that government can do, especially given where we come from, is to create a system that allows our young people to access capital. When we started here, I said, how many of you have fantastic business ideas, but capital is a problem? Raise your hand up again, please. Virtually all of you have fantastic business ideas. How many of you have tried to get loans from banks and it did not work? Raise your hands up. All kinds of hurdles were placed before you. Either you are asked to bring collateral, you are asked to bring the signature of your grandfather 200 years ago, and you are asked to go and find the kidney of an aunt. You know what I mean. The idea is you are not going to be given the loan because you don't have what it takes to access a loan. It's as simple as that. So why don't the government therefore create a fund that makes capital available to these brilliant minds? In our administration, we will create what I call a hustlers fund. Please put your hands together for that. This hustlers fund will be a pool of cash, a lot of money, that we shall set aside. We shall bring the best managers on earth that are going to supervise, create the criteria, that will look at the proposals that you have, examine them. It's not just about giving you money. Some of the ideas you have here, as an entrepreneur myself, as an economist myself, as someone that has run businesses, some of them have failed, some of them are doing extremely well. Some of them will have started and said, no, this one will not work. This is a better way. If I sit down with some of you and start looking at ideas, I can beat my chest that only 20% of these ideas will be fantastic ideas that are implementable. Do you understand? Some of them will also need to be refined here and there and show you a better way to do it. Some of them will need to say, go in a different direction. Everybody has ideas, trust me. But how many of those ideas are workable? So the hustlers fund is not just about just throwing money around. No, the hustlers fund will be about setting aside the funds, setting up a team that will look at these things, advise, give mentorship, create the different pathways for you, follow you from step to step until they get to a stage where they feel you are ready. Okay? Create incentives for you that will not put much pressure on you, and then release the money for you and guide you so that you can blow. Wouldn't that be a beautiful idea? Wouldn't that be better than the same government using this money to buy keke napep, rice, indomie, what's the other one that they buy? You know the things that they call, and call all of you together in Dana Yam and say we are doing empowerment. Is that not better to give you money for your business ideas rather than give you money or buy rice to dash you? Is it not better? So the hustlers funds will be there. And in dispensing the hustlers funds, we shall inculcate both the church, the community leaders, and big-time captains of industries, because we want you to succeed. And we shall give you these loans, not grants, at near 0% interest rates. Another thing we shall do is those who may benefit faster will be those who already have existing businesses going on, but all they need is an injection of more funds. If you run a business here, raise your hands up. Thank you. My brother, please stand up. What do you do? Come. Hurry up. What do you do?
Bar business.
Bar. You have bar business. How much is the bar business worth? Your business, how much? Just roughly.
Not up to 1.5.
But if you are giving, let's say, 2-3 million, you will expand and bring in more drinks, right?
Of course.
Exactly. Sit down. So you see, some of the money even needed by this business it's not even much. It's as little as 500,000, 1 million, 2 million. Nobody's asking for 100 million here, right? Nobody. It's just small money here and there. And the same thing will go down even in our communities, our mothers. I talked about it, our parents, those who fry akara. A woman who fries just a bag of, let's just say 2 mudu. We call him, my time we call him mudu. I don't know what they call it now. Is it Congo? Of beans every day. And these beans, this Congo of beans, she goes to collect it on credit from the local vendor, so that when she finishes selling it, she can now return the money, and anything remaining is a profit that she will use to eat. Imagine if the Hustlers Fund gives her 100,000 to now buy a bag of beans. She doesn't have to collect on credit. That woman, come and meet her in 6 months' time. That bag of beans will have become 5 bags of beans. Do you understand what I mean? She doesn't need to have collateral. Do you know who her collateral is? Her collateral is the priest or the pastor in the church, who shall be asked to, is this woman of good standing? Is she known to borrow, to collect items from places and not pay back? Abruhejezoshi. Okwejoku. We will ask the traditional, rulers within. So, apart from, there's what you call social capital. Do you understand what I mean? Your capital doesn't have to be money alone. You can also have a social capital. You are found worthy in character. This business, how long has she been doing it? Oh, she has been doing it for 2 years. Oh. That tells you that is a going concern. Do you understand me? That is her collateral. Which meeting does she belong? Virtually every woman in our communities belongs to meeting every market day. You know how we do it. If this woman has been borrowing from meeting and paying, but she has a track record of returning her loans, that woman is credit worthy. Do you understand what I mean? Nobody in our place, nobody embezzles cooperative money. And if that person has been collecting and bringing, and the cooperative also says she has been returning, that person is credit worthy. The Hustlers Fund will support her. And we know that our money will come back because we know that cooperative money, the day it's time to return money, you don't return it. You know what women do to you, right? Exactly. You see, leadership has to think outside the box. You don't do it the same old way and expect a different outcome. You have to think every problem you have, the solution is local. Okay? So, like I said, another critical thing we need to do is to revitalize some of the moribund industries in our state. Have you seen Adapam? Adapam can feed our state. Have you seen the rubber estates? It can feed our state. And some of the moribund estates, we need to revitalize it, bring in partners to revitalize. What about the poultry farms? So many things that we can revitalize. My estimate is that if we revitalize just 10 moribund industries, get them working, get professionals to run it, involve the private sector, do the right things, that we can, in one full swoop, employ over 25,000 youths. Put your hands together for that. Another key thing in my mind is the support for apprentices. Some of our brothers did it because leadership, government is not just for those that went to school. Some of our brothers didn't go to school, but they are apprentices. Apprentices, we have to support them too. We thinking of a policy where we set up a fund. The day a young boy enters into an apprenticeship system, we enforce a system where the Oga must be paying money into a dedicated account. Not when a young boy stays 7 years, on the 8th year you get you allege him of something. No. You'll be setting up aside something. And before, on the final year of his freedom, the government supports that fund as a take-off grant and brings that young man into. Those are the next employers of labor. We need to do this because we need to expand the tax bracket. We need a lot of money in our state. We have established that Imo State is totally dependent on allocation. So if we don't do some of these things, we will find out that the day federal government says it's over, we have done. So we need to bring all these business ideas to fruition so that you can start paying tax. But I can't ask you to pay tax if I have not supported you. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. In terms of the security you talked about, we know what you go through the police. And what a sensible government should do is to, first of all, stop random raids. You go to a hostel, you raid everybody on your alarm for one night. Does it even make sense? Why don't you invest more in intelligence gathering? You gather intelligence, you know who is who, and you pick that person. We're going to insist that it stops. Not just insist, we will set up an independent desk for complaint. Onye Menegi that raids and picks you arbitrarily, report to that independent desk. The state attorney general will be taxed to sue the police for what they are worth. The money coming will be given to you as compensation. By the time you do it once and twice, you will not be arrested anyhow. By the time the police pays one person, the third person in Imo State that have been arrested arbitrarily, next time when they see you walking, even with a dreadlock, they will approach you and say, "Good morning, sir. Where are you going to? Let us drop you." Do you understand? As they do in other places. We have to make them start paying for the abuse of the rights of our young people. Our young people cannot be subjected to this dehumanized treatment. And you will say any sensible government to allow it, we will not allow it. We understand that some of our young people are really nefarious. But that's a small segment of the young persons. Okay? We will also insist that the police community relations will include young people. A situation where only old people sit down in the community relations and decide what happened. That is why they behave anyhow. But when you are in the committee that interact with the police, you can make your opinions known. Do you understand me? It must carry you along. And we will now begin to re-educate the Nigerian police force on the respect for rules and what human rights is and what it is not. All right? In terms of governance, I've said it that if you don't deal with corruption, corruption will deal with the states. We will deal with corruption, we shall institute transparency, and we shall now insist that the young people will not only be just voting or used as thugs. No, we are not going to use them, but the young people must be therefore, as a deliberate policy of government, be on the seat where decisions are taken. Even though I'm not a fan of quota, but we shall create a system where we say this is for women, this is for young persons. I don't know why. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but a 70-year-old man vying to be local government chairman, come on, Mpa Ozubelage. Mpa Ozubelage. Why do you make a 57-year-old person youth leader when there is a 29, 30-year-old young person? Come on. So we must allow our young people, even in appointive positions, there are a lot of you that have skills. You have skills. You have the qualifications. We shall make a deliberate policy of putting you in places where you will thrive and mentor you. There will be a policy that will advise companies within IMO to open up internships for our young people and placements. We shall also do that even in some of our governments, where we shall bring some of you. It's not just about private companies. Some of you also want to learn the roles in civil service. Some of you want to be in the civil service. We shall open it up. And it will be done transparently, not who is your father. Some of us whose father are nobody must also be given opportunities. We shall institute what we call special grants for females, for women. We know that in this country, it's a patriarchal, the society is patriarchal. So we need to deliberately move out of that place and allow our women to thrive, to bring them up to par. Things like giving special grants to women in business for them to thrive is something that should be considered. Creating scholarship schemes so women who are interested in STEMs, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, it will be a deliberate policy of government. We will ensure that even in appointive processes, in fact, for me, I've said it, if it is the will of God, I will get to government house, our state executive council will be 50% women and 50% men. Take my word for it. Now, all these will be integrated. I want us to come to a point where we say, you know what? We take a personal decision to say we no longer want to be used as thugs. We want to do things differently. Let's agree as young people. You know that song by Eminem, Lose Yourself? You know that song? If you have one shot to make it in life, how will you use that shot? My brothers, my sisters, this is our last shot. How will you use it? Will you allow yourself to be used as pawns by the same people that have kept us where we are today? Or will you make yourself available for us to lead the revolution that will turn our state around for us, that will give us the aim of our dreams, that will allow young people to thrive again, that will allow young people to express themselves, that will not criminalize you, that will see you as the human being you are and not as somebody to be used and dumped, that will see you as a partner. The future of Imo State rests with you, young people. Commit to doing something differently. Commit to insisting that the next elections will be rigging free. Commit to insisting that only the votes of the people will count. Commit to resisting tyranny. It's going to be difficult, but we can do it. And more importantly, if you have not registered, please go and register, but that is your tool. Me and my friends have decided that we're going to do this, and the platform is the APP. Join us, let's work together and get Imo working again. It's time to take back Imo. Thank you.
A more round of applause.